Hello, my dear students. How are y'all? I hope y'all are fine and busy studying nowadays. I think y'all are watching the videos that the teachers are posting. Yes, I'm sure you all are. Today, I am here again. I shall be sharing the third video with you. In this video, I shall be starting with chapter 2, which is computer system. In this video, I shall discuss about what is computer, what is IPO cycle, the different examples of IPO cycle which we use in our daily lives, and about the features of computer. So students, without further delay, let's get started. Let us first know what is a computer. A computer is an electronic device that is designed to work with information and data in a particular form. It can accept, store, and process data to produce the required result according to our wish. We can also say that a computer is a machine or device that performs processes, calculations, and operations based on instructions provided by a software or hardware program. It is designed to execute applications and provides a variety of solutions by combining integrated hardware and software components. Let us now know about the features of computer. I have jotted down 6 points over here. You will also understand. The first point, a computer is an electronic device. Second, it makes our work easier. Third, a computer can work continuously. Fourth, it works fast and does large calculations in seconds. Fifth, a computer never makes mistakes. Sixth, a computer can do many kinds of work at the same time. Now children, let us know about a very important feature of computer, which is the IPO cycle. The full form of IPO cycle is input, process, output, cycle. I shall repeat for you. It is the input, process, output, cycle. Actually, input, process, output cycle is the cycle which represents the entire working of the computer and especially the working of the CPU, which is the central processing unit, the brain of the computer. The CPU is composed of two main parts. They are ALU, the arithmetic and logic unit, and CU, the control unit. We have one more important part in the CPU, which is the memory unit, which is used to store the processed information in the CPU. Arithmetic and logic unit is used to perform arithmetic and logical operations. The control unit interacts with the input-output devices and memory devices and assigns them required instruction for processing a certain action. This entire cycle is known as the IPO cycle. Let us understand how the IPO cycle is followed in the computer. See children, as you have understood by now that a computer is a machine made up of parts that helps you enter data as input, process it in the CPU, and stores it in the memory. At last, it gives us the output, the result. Okay? Now see the basic concepts of input, process and output in the following diagram. For a computer, the input, process, output cycle usually involves operations and hardware. Hardware which we shall learn later in this chapter. Now see what is input, process, output involved in the computer. In the input section, we have to enter data and commands into a computer via one or more input devices like the keyboard. The processing involves the CPU, which works on the data according to the commands provided in the input stage. And lastly, the output is the result which is shown on the screen of the monitor. Now, let us understand the meaning of input, process and output cycle with daily examples. Have you seen this picture, children? Yes, this is the picture of delicious jam. So, for making jam, what would you do? See the process. Inputs, that means the things that you would need to make the jam, which are fruit, sugar, and obviously who would make the labor to make the jam. Next is processing. That means the process to make the jam, which are boiling and stirring. Last is the output, which is the result. That is the jam, the delicious jam. The result of all these things is the jam that you would get after input and processing. This is a very easy example from which you could know and understand the IPO cycle. Here is another example of the IPO cycle which we use daily. The process of making rice. See, in the input section, we have the picture of putting the rice into the cooker and selecting the cooking program, which leads to the processing part, which is cooking rice according to the programmed steps. And the last part is the output, which is the cooked rice. So you see, this three input, process and output total process cycle gave our cooked rice, the output which is the cooked rice. Children, don't you love delicious juices in the hot summer days? Yes. Let us take this example to understand the input, process, output cycle. Over here, what is the input? As you can see, the input is the apple. The process portion involves the mixing of the apple in the mixer grinder, which will give the result as the delicious juice as the output. Do you all love cakes? I think you all do, isn't it? Your lovely birthday cakes. So how they are made? Let us see this example with the help of input, process, output cycle. See, the input involves the ingredients which are needed to make the delicious cake. Now, after we have the input, we need to have the processing part, which involves the baking portion. and mixing of all the ingredients, which will result in the output, which is the lovely cake. So you see, here also we have involved the IPO cycle. Here is yet another example of input process output cycle. In this example, we can see how coffee is made. In the input section, we have the coffee powder, which is the input to make the coffee. And in the processing section, we have the person who is making the coffee. And what is the output? The output is the delicious coffee. So here also we have the input, processing and output cycle involved. The next example of our IPO cycle is the fresh bread. Let us see how fresh bread is available. Let us involve the IPO cycle in this. In the input section, we have the raw materials, that is the flour, yeast and water, which is needed to make the bread. The labor, which is also required to make the bread, and the money, which is very important for making the bread. In the processing portion, we have the process to make the bread, which involves a series of steps. And last but not the least is the output, which is the fresh bread, the finished product, loaves of bread, which is distributed to the consumers. The last example which I shall discuss in this context is making a tasty sandwich. Let us involve the IPO cycle in this now. See children, the input section will include the sliced bread, and the other ingredients that you will love to have in the sandwich, and the equipment which is used to make the sandwich, and the person who will make the sandwich. The processing portion will include the process to make the sandwich. And last, the output portion is your delicious sandwich. See, so easily we have involved the IPO cycle in making a bread. So, through all these examples which we use in our daily lives, I have explained the IPO cycle. I hope you have understood all of these. Now, after we have understood the IPO cycle with the help of various daily examples, let us see how the IPO cycle is used in the computer. A computer also works in these three simple steps. The input, which involves the keyboard, the processing, which involves the CPU, and output, which involves the monitor. So, input, processing, output is done with the help of keyboard, CPU, and the monitor respectively in the computer system. So let us now learn about the characteristics of computer. In this diagram, as you can see, I have drawn a mind map in which you can see 5 major characteristics of computer. They are speed, accuracy, storage, diligence, versatility. Okay, so let us now learn about all these characteristics in detail. This is one of the most important characteristics of computer, the speed. Computers work at an incredible speed. A powerful computer is capable of performing about 3 to 4 million simple instructions per second. Just imagine. The second characteristics of computer is memory or storage. A memory is just like a human brain. It is used to store data and instructions. Computer memory is the storage space in the computer where data is to be processed and instructions required for processing are stored. The third most important characteristics of computer is accuracy. Since computers are programmed beforehand, so whatever input we give, it gives us correct result. This is the fourth characteristics of computer, which is diligence. This means a computer can work for hours without any break or creating any error without getting bored or tired, which is unlike human beings. Over here, we can see the fifth important characteristics of a computer, which is versatility, which means that a computer can perform different types of work. The sixth and a very important characteristics of a computer is multitasking. This means the computer can do different jobs at the same time. So students, here we come to an end of today's video. I hope you have liked it and understood whatever I have explained in this video about what is a computer, the features of computer, the IPO cycle with daily examples, the IPO cycle as implemented in computer system, and the different characteristics of computer. So you know what to do next. Your work is to remember all the points and solve the worksheets that I will be sharing very soon. So wait for my upcoming video and keep fit, keep healthy and keep studying. Bye for now.